100.9.
Remember, your value is whatever premium you place on yourself. Why wallow in self-pity and despondency? Why fight alone when institutional support is one phone call away? Simply join Movers Nigeria, a people's rights and economic empowerment association. Our platform is available to all: clubs, professionals, women, youth, students, artists, and religious organizations. The attributes that define us as a people were hard work, diligence, philanthropy, family values, kindred spirit, integrity, and fairness. Together, we can fight corruption, violence against women, violation of human rights, and environmental degradation. My friend, will your conduct help us as a group and a community?
Yes, so oyimo omumeyage yelpo bodayeka eyounem.
Then you have become a mover. Call or visit us at our national headquarters at number 1 Ogoja Street of Nikki Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Transekulu, Enugu. Or call our line 042-229-1198, 0708 955 992, or email us at admin@moversnigeria.org or info@moversnigeria.org. We are on Facebook and Twitter. Movers Nigeria, rebuilding our lives and community.
Hello and good morning. It's the Saturday we were waiting for on Friday. Yes, this is the 25th day in the month of May 2013, and Enugu is almost looking empty. Yes, environmental sanitation. I didn't hear of a public statement or any advert on our media about it, but anyways, see a few policemen stopping people who shouldn't be on the roads. Well, I can go on the roads because they group us as essential services, so we can move around. And Mr. F.I. Okonkwo is also an essential services. Yes, welcome once again to Straight Talk, powered by Movers Nigeria. Welcome, sir.
It's my pleasure. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning. Yes, so we are here again on Straight Talk. We say once again, good morning, everybody. It's a wonderful day. I'm wondering what will happen to all the couples who plan to get married today. They were not informed beforehand, so I think a lot of text messages will have to go around. It's all good. Let's move ahead with the topic of discourse. You know what we do on Movers Nigeria every Saturday morning? We make sure we bring an issue that is very pertinent to our national development. That's why we're here on Movers Nigeria, powering the program Straight Talk. Today, we will be talking about small business development and group ownership. Well, I believe Movers Nigeria, Movers Nigeria is in the forefront of participation, group communal participation, everybody coming together to make things work, okay? And today we'll be talking basically about business, entrepreneurship, and how we can move our young people to the next level with different strategies, making sure that we improve them in terms of business skills to make sure that we improve our economy. So we're going to be talking about small business development and group ownership. We'll also be talking about business capital formation and the use of group funds without payment of interest. And we're also going to be facing Young Entrepreneurs Club targeting secondary schools and junior clubs. I think we should start from the bottom up. And we're also talking about regarding Young Entrepreneurs Club, schools and clubs should apply to Movers Nigeria. Are you serious? This is it. So, a Young Entrepreneurs Club, I think it will be targeted at secondary schools and junior clubs. And you can apply to Movers Nigeria. Yes, because I believe you're in the forefront of group development, for making the nation go up. Let's start from the bottom up. Let's talk about the Young Entrepreneurs Club. What's your idea about this?
Yes, sir. One of the greatest problem we have in this country is the longevity and succession in business. Most business ownership die with the initiator of the business.
Yeah.
And we have had a vacuum or a regime of people not being able to understand the particular trade the family is recognized with, or what brought fame to the family.
Yeah.
When we're growing up, some communities are known specifically for certain trades.
Okay.
Blacksmiths, people who are in block molding, machinery business, carpentry work, and the rest of them. And when new education policy came in, we de-emphasized craftsmanship. And having de-emphasized craftsmanship, personal initiative was at the bottom of the ladder. Because craftsmanship gives you the initiative to create beyond your peer group and become a leader in the group. And then the group association for young people for mentoring was totally non-existence. And that is why we have so much deviance in the society. People who are not able to work with other people. And some of them take revenge on the system. And we are working to change the system. And what Movers Nigeria is interested in is if clubs and secondary or secondary schools can apply to us to come and help them to set up entrepreneurial clubs and give them the necessary framework, support, and go and help them to get mentors in the community. Because our objective is that we must take back our community, rebuild the community, so that it will be easier for us to take account of what happens to society. If you look at all over the world now, what is now in currency is the situation where a man who bears a Nigerian name was involved in hacking somebody to death, and even the ambassador of Nigeria was trying to denounce that person that not being a Nigerian, that he carries a British passport or whatever. All these things are supposed not to be issue, but because of the pedestrian way we have cultivated our life, the environment breeds these criminals. And Nigerians are not exempted from being criminals. That you are living in Britain, you are susceptible to the conditions of life and the hardship overseas, and you can dement, you can become paranoid and become a social deviant and can cause trouble in the system. But the only thing is that we, in our community, have had family value. That is one advantage that Africans have. We have a tradition of mentoring people. You grow up, your uncles, your nephews, your in-laws, and people will be watching over you. But all those things have broken down. And the society is so vulnerable that we need mentoring. So what we are trying to do now is to see how we can work with social clubs like Boy Scout, Girls Guide, the Red Cross, and other sororities. More particularly, secondary schools principal. I'm encouraging counseling officers or people who are involved in organizing maybe house masters to encourage their students to apply to Movers Nigeria, for us to come and help them to set up these clubs, how we can train them to be entrepreneurs. We take them on excursion. We also sit down and assign mentors who live in the community. We will take pain to go and fish those mentors, men and women, and tell them, what have you done to assist the community? That is what the regime is all about. Okay, so Young Entrepreneurs Club is targeted at secondary schools, and you're advocating that school principals should tap into this and come partner with Movers Nigeria to make sure this happens. All right, let's look at the young people these days joining forces to start businesses. It's not that common anymore. It's not really common. But if we take a cue from the United States of America, just using a comparison, Google, the international web engine, the international search engine, it was started up by a group of friends. Facebook started up as a group of friends. Twitter started up
with a group of friends. Group effort brought together and brought those international brands that everyone around the world these days cannot do without. Now, can we take a cue from them and do something here in Nigeria, group effort? Because we see a lot of people running solo. Some people, I got access to funds, somehow I was lucky enough, or connections got me a contract, and then I started up the company, and they run solo. And then, like you said, the business dies with the owner. Is this why businesses don't thrive in Nigeria? Because we don't have a group effort?
This is a result of a research effort and my passion for excellence.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to introduce is that we can take advantage of development in other centers. The government is talking about graduate employment, graduate scheme, and all this. These are targeted towards individuals. We must talk about group success. Groups here, because we don't have effective students curriculum, social curriculum, it is very difficult to develop groups. And that is why most of our young people are into all these dangerous sororities, like what you call the court system, because we deny them opportunity to compete for intellectual development. And that is what Movers Nigeria is particularly anxious to see if we can reinstall in our family value. And we need people in the community who will volunteer to help to reconstruct these broken bridges. The critical thing is that we talk about the culture in other climes like America, Great Britain, because they had this opportunity of working with people. People will come into groups, and even the rock bands that were formed.
Yeah.
Where are the talents here? Nobody is encouraging anybody. If you want to get into music, how do you really get into music?
You have a friend who's a producer, and then you just sing the song.
So, and this is what Mover is trying to create, that window. You talk about groups that have been able to engineer development, and today they have become household name in our world. They have overcome poverty. They've been able to create intellectual highways. They've been able to show passion for excellence. So we need to start this from the primary and secondary school. But at this point, we will be more comfortable working with people in the secondary school level. And then we go from there.
Okay. But don't you think that if you start putting a child secondary school age into knowledge of business and entrepreneurship, it will probably not give him the want or desire. For some people who are inclined to go into the universities, some people might feel it's better to just do business instead of going for a university degree.
No, that's not mercantilism. We are not teaching them how to become a trader.
Okay.
Organization is what we are teaching them. Structures.
Okay.
How to work with people. How to expect results. How to phase things you're doing. It helps them in planning.
Planning, yeah.
That's the critical element, not to teach them how to become entrepreneurs, but to show you how can you work with people. You go into a laboratory and you are doing an experiment. They are constructed in phases that one network will assist the other.
Yeah.
But these days, we don't have too many laboratories anyway. The issue is organization is lacking in child development in Nigeria.
Working with people.
Yeah, working with people. Even to find a plan of action. What can you do? You need young entrepreneurs. You need people who engender ideas. That idea becomes marketable. Or you need them to come and form maybe a club that will be, maybe they are good, they can sing. They will develop from their school. You help the choir in the school, and they were able to attract people to buy them the piano, buy them so many other equipment, and it will help them to take control of their creative mind. And it is not taking them away to this fair that how to become a trader or how to go and sell goods.
Yeah.
Organization, planning is all part of entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurship doesn't mean that you're a mercantile business.
But let's put it this way. If we capitalize on what education is today, we focus a lot on academics and we continue feeding the students with something into their head. Take biology, take chemistry, take physics, take mathematics, take this. But we don't give them opportunities to also use the knowledge they have to strategize. There's nothing in the education curriculum that tasks the student's mind on creativity, on problem-solving skills, on skills for survival. Is
Yes.
this what
what we are trying to introduce in Movers is busy hands. What are you good at?
Okay.
What is it that you can do? Can you draw? Can we now make you an artist to start dreaming that you can be an architect, town planner, or social engineer? That is at the planning stage. Somebody who will recognize your talent and give that your busy hand a push. When we were growing up, people used to build cages for birds.
Yeah.
But today, you can't even talk about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, so we're still here. Movers Nigeria, powering the program Street Talk on 100.9 Solid FM. We are just about 12 minutes before we hit the 10 o'clock hour, if I'm correct. Am I correct? Whatever. But let's talk more about the topics of discourse. And we started from Young Entrepreneurs Club. It's as an initiative that Movers Nigeria is targeting at secondary schools to help them for the future. Okay, so we're going to move upwards to small business development and group ownership, and of course business capital formation. How to make capital for your business using group funds without paying interest. All right, so I think we'll be targeting both sides today because we have dwelt on the secondary schools and the Young Entrepreneurs Club. But if you have contributions about that matter, the secondary schools and the Young Entrepreneurs Club, the lines will be open and you could call us in and make your contributions right here on the Rock Station. Of course, Enugu, like I said, is almost empty. Environmental sanitation. I'm hoping by 10 o'clock everything would go back to normal, and that means you should go out there and clean your environment. Well, let's talk more about Movers Nigeria. A short break. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Keep your dial logged on to 100.9 Solid FM. Mr. Ifeanyi Chukwu Okonkwo, he's here in the studios with me, Super Sam. We'll be right back.
Remember, your value is whatever premium you place on yourself. Why wallow in self-pity and despondency? Why fight alone when institutional support is one phone call away? Simply join Movers Nigeria, a People's Rights and Economic Empowerment Association. Our platform is available to all: clubs, professionals, women, youth, students, artists, and religious organizations. The attributes that define us as a people were hard work, diligence, philanthropy, family values, kindred spirit, integrity, and fairness. Together, we can fight corruption, violence against women, violation of human rights, and environmental degradation. My friend, will your conduct help us as a group and a community?
Yes, so oyimo omume ya ga-enyerukwa obodo anyị ka
Then you have become a mover. Call or visit us at our national headquarters at number 1 Ogoja Street of Nikki Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Transekulu, Enugu. Or call our line 042-229-1198, 0708 955 9992, or email us at admin@moversnigeria.org or info@moversnigeria.org. We are on Facebook and Twitter. Movers Nigeria, rebuilding our lives and community.
Okay, welcome back. It's still Street Talk and it's powered by Movers Nigeria. Officially, we are 8 minutes before we hit the 10 o'clock hour. Good morning once again. And we're talking about a very critical issue. And I'll talk about that subject right now as I take the phone lines, and you could call us in right now. 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. Again, 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. You can be part of this conversation. We're talking about small business development and group ownership. We're also talking about a business capital formation and the use of group funds without payment of interest. Let's talk about that. Use of group funds without payment of interest. What are we saying through this?
One of the greatest problems that young entrepreneurs or young people who are starting business have is funding and plans.
Okay.
And the critical issue is that when the period of gestation of business, you don't overload the business with talking about interest payment. That regime will cripple the initiative of the originator of the business.
All right.
And we must know that the new vista for business survival in the world today is group business. It's not individual business. And in Nigeria, we must make a specific effort to retool our young people that the only way to survive and create mega businesses is through partnership. And when you have a group of people coming together like in Movers Nigeria, you should be able to give yourself the boost by raising your own fund by the contributions you make in the group and taking advantage of the business idea of the members of the group and raising enough capital for you to fund the business, while your mentors will give you the bridge financing. Okay. And also give you opportunity that to have a fallback position. If the business needs a top up or the business is failing, how do you now recapture it to inject new money or new idea and bring new management? Okay. That is what we're group activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about the trust factor, because people, when it comes to where we put money, a lot of people do this contribution thing, and 10 people put their money every month, and everyone take turns to collect their money back. That to people, especially from a steady source of income, everyone is taking a steady stuff, and we're all paid by the same employer. That is what people probably would feel more comfortable doing, because they know the source, and they're able to go back and meet someone in case there was a problem. Some people will take that safer than to have a community where you don't know where the other person's money is coming from, if the person is going to be having steady source of income. And when it comes to that time, okay, I want to take out 200,000 naira out of our group thing, and that could be a problem. The trust factor, isn't it critical that we're able to address that issue of trust?
Compositely, what we're doing is different from Isusu.
Yeah.
That we are bringing network of men and women of ideas who are powered by a passion. Okay. They must have a passion for excellence. You subscribe into Movers philosophy. When you subscribe into Movers philosophy, you become a mover. You have idea of growing business with like minds, and you come together to think about survival, the survival of individual, the superiority of ideas. Is not a place where you come, mediocres will gather. The man with the best idea will sit in a table with men and women who are in this association to phantom out what is the way forward. Where is the business plan for the survival of the century? Where are we going?
Okay.
You look at the industries. Where is the trend where government is spending money? Today, Nigeria government spend mega resources building structures, without maintenance.
Mm.
It is group of people that will sit down together to think, how do we prepare ourselves to take advantage of the new opportunities? You also find out today that the greatest industry is the service industry. The biggest business in the world is distribution and haulage. That is the biggest business. How do you get products distributed across the country? There is no big wholesale company in this country. Everybody is a trader, individual people going into stores, but you need people who will bring business plans to harness this thing and take advantage of it. Today, Nigerian banks are designed not to help small business. That is why we can't take advantage of the banking, the financing and banking. Because the bank don't have time for the man who needs 1 million. The paperwork is too much. But if we come together and say we need 20, 30 million, they can listen to us. And they look at the structure. It's a group. People bringing different talents into the group for composite business development.
So you're saying now that it's better to represent yourself as a group than an individual?
Definitely, that is the way forward for survival of business today in the world. Companies are taking over companies. Here in this country, how are we managing young entrepreneurs in Nigeria to get into big business of steel, power, oil and gas? It's not petrol station. That is proper focus. It's not, that's retail. That's what you call the downstream. We have not even talked about who moves Nigeria crude oil. Every day we've been fighting, trying to raise funds to even hire vessels that will transport our oil to the consumers that need the oil. The big businesses, we are the closest in the wet region. For example, people in the southeast. But we have gone to Lagos. We have gone to Abuja. Say we are traders. They are hawking businesses. You see them running around on the streets selling stockings and the rest of them. Who brings in towels? Who brings in the underwears you wear? Who brings in the singlets you wear? Where are the consolidating companies? The Indians are the consolidators. So we want to open up young Nigerian businessmen that the way to survive is to have group coming together and taking advantage of the mega resources that is in this country to take advantage in the highway of economic empowerment.
All right. Okay, it's time for your contribution via calls. You've heard the subject matter we're talking about right now on Straight Talk, which is powered by Movers Nigeria. Mr. Ifeanyi Okonkwo is here in the studios, and we're talking about group business ownership. What do you think about it? Do you think it works? Do you think we should take it seriously? And what do we need to do to make sure that we help our communities grow by coming together and pooling resources and developing businesses as a community? All right, 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. Those are the numbers to call us up right now, and let's get to know what you think about this subject matter. Let's not forget, this is Straight Talk, powered by Movers Nigeria. All right, let's see who's on our phone lines. Who's the very first call? Once again, 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. That's how we do it. Okay, let's check out. Let's go back to the subject matter before the calls come in floods. The concept of support for funds when we have, like we said, there are some groups or communities in the time past that you should be known for a particular trade. Do you think we should go back to that? Do you think we should go back to where we have, like, there are certain places in our country, Nigeria. If you go to Lagos, for instance, you have a certain part of Lagos, Balinde, Lagos, where you have many northerners. They're into tailoring. They just sew clothes. You see a line of shops of 2, 3, 4, 5 people sewing. They're probably individuals, or one person brought them together. And that when you're looking for, I need to sew kaftan, you go there. And that's where you have this business. Do you think that's the same strategy we must employ in Nigeria?
Not necessarily duplicating that strategy, but improving on it.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. The person who sells the animal that we consume, that is the goat and the cow. I don't know how many Nigerians have bought cow or goat with check.
No.
And how do you really monitor that type of business that controls our dining table? It's a big mega industry.
Okay.
And the funding and the way they move these goods and services is beyond the imagination of the average consumer of those meat products. There is a regime of local letters of credit,
Okay.
which the northerners who are in this business will always stay miles ahead of the average businessman. No cattle sells less than 60,000. And you can imagine a person who has 100 or 1,000 heads of cattle. So what is the amount of capital that he can play with? And you say you're a businessman, you are running an electronic shop. So we must look well and see who we are competing with. Who controls the tomatoes, the onions we use on a daily basis? How do they distribute it? How do they get it to you for consumption? And we must begin to dominate our environment. Be critical about how to survive in today's modern world of trade and commerce.
Yeah.
So what we are trying to do in Movers is to have an engine where people with ideas will come and discuss plan and funding of new businesses. And how do you make sure they survive? Going into the area of services, we are today lucky that a few young people have gone on their own to sustain our technology in telecommunication by repairing our cell phones and the rest of them. Tell me any of the big companies that are now the major promoters of all these Nokia, the BlackBerry, that have come out with a policy to train technicians in Nigeria.
Well, I think they just recruit them and they work in their company.
So the issue is that we must be proactive in how we now. Who developed the mega malls today that is going to, in the next 5, 3, 4 years, wipe out our old system of markets? We must think
ahead
and be proactive. Today, how many people, 80% of the elites in Enugu have never entered Obuete for the last 3 years? Because the place is not conducive, both for the logistics of their getting themselves there by transportation and the shopping arcade they have there. And look at the suffering. There's no ventilation and the environment is in chaos.
Well, people will probably give you the excuse that things there are relatively cheap.
No. What we must do now is to integrate these Western mega malls and incorporate our traditional system. I believe that in places like the mall we have in Polo Park, should also integrate small stores to accommodate the people, to give us that vista that you can still shop in one roof. But you don't discriminate and eliminate the people. So these are philosophies and these are issues that we need by coming together to now deal with and how to resolve these issues.
No, okay. So if you think we're talking to ourselves, then you must be mistaken. We're talking, and you're also talking with us. And let's see what you have to say about this. Developing businesses in Nigeria, group efforts, what we need to do. Notice we haven't used the word government in all our conversation because right now it doesn't really concern government as such. I think it concerns you and I. It is our business acumen, it is our drive to succeed, and it is our creativity, like Mr. Okonkwo said. It is looking beyond. We have to start to, plan ahead, look in the future, and see what we can get out of it, not just for ourselves, but for our children. Let's see what you have to say. 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243 7346. Those are the numbers to call us up right now. Let's get to know what you have to say about the subject matter. Let's go for a short break. When we get back, we'll take your calls on this program, Straight Talk, powered by Movers Nigeria.
Remember, your value is whatever premium you place on yourself. Why wallow in self-pity and despondency? Why fight alone when institutional support is one phone call away? Simply join Movers Nigeria, a people's rights and economic empowerment association. Our platform is available to all: clubs, professionals, women, youth, students, artists, and religious organizations. The attributes that define us as a people were hard work, diligence, philanthropy, family values, kindred spirit, integrity, and fairness. Together, we can fight corruption, violence against women, violation of human rights, and environmental degradation. My friend, will your conduct help us as a group and a community?
Yes, so oyimo omume aga yelko obodo aye ka eyo unem.
Then you have become a mover. Call or visit us at our national headquarters at number 1 Ogoja Street of Nike Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Transikulu, Enugu. Or call our line 042-229-1198, 0708-955-9992, or email us at admin@moversnigeria.org or info@moversnigeria.org. We are on Facebook and Twitter. Movers Nigeria, rebuilding our lives and community.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Switch it up. Something brand new. By that kid Trey Songz. Fresh out of VA. Featuring Twister. Big shout out, the whole Atlantic record.
Shawty, all I got is a dollar and a dream. Is you gonna roll with me? You see, I tried a 9 to 5 and it just don't fit me. No, I can get us out the hood and have us living good. You feel me? But I ain't even here if you ain't with me. Don't fit me. Taking the bus for some miles is gon' kill me. I'm trying to turn it around, start this thing from the ground. And as long as you're down, I know. Looking at you day after day, I know I just gotta make it, just gotta make it. Just to see that smile up on your face, I know I just gotta make it. Everything I do for you, and we just gotta make it to the top of the world. Me and my girl, we just gotta make it. Just gotta make it. Now, baby, one day soon you gon' walk outside and see a Mercedes. And I'm gon' give you the keys until you go shopping. Oh, yeah. Whoa, make sure you get some
Radio.
and I can get us out the hood and have us living good. But first I gotta know if you gon' roll. Cause a suit with a smile don't fit me. Taking the bus for some miles is gon' kill me. I'm trying to turn it around, start this thing from the ground. As long as I know you gon' be there. I just
Don't forget, something brand new by Trey Songz, Twister. It's called Just Gotta Make It.
everything I do for you. And we just
Big shout out, my man Bob Fish, Delonte.
Twister, we put it down like this. Even if I gotta go a couple things, get up early and go standing on the block somehow. I just gotta make it, that's right. Just gotta make it.
Twister.
Even if I have to sit with the fellas at the round table and come up on the plot somehow. I just gotta make it, baby girl. I just gotta make it. I'm telling you the truth on the daily. It's nothing I won't do for you, baby. Having big dreams, I mean riding in the Billy Continental, I mean copping you a cute little Mercedes. And I know I got the block high, but until I make it happen for you, baby, I will not stop. I'ma drape you with diamonds and pearls, visions of your hair blowing in the wind from a drop top. Like a baller, like a true shot caller. The homie Trey Songz tipping all day long. If we have to, making that money for the family. Can I get up with ya? It's the name Twister. Gonna take a little.
Yes, we all have to make it. That's Trey Songz featuring Twister. Well, great music right here, and it's a great station. It's a wonderful program. Movers Nigeria powering it. It's called Straight Talk, and it's Movement of Voice for Democracy, a People's Rights and Economic Empowerment Association that's behind this program. We have to make it, and it's not an individual effort, it's a group effort, and that's why we had that song, Just Gotta Make It. Good morning once again. It's time to check up Movers Nigeria on social media. Very simple. They're on social media. They're also on YouTube, and you can also check out their website. Well, let's start from the social media. You can find them on Facebook and Twitter, and it's very simple. Look for Movers Nigeria, MOVERS Yep, Movers Nigeria, NIGERIA, Movers Nigeria, on Facebook, on Twitter. Go ahead and follow them and like them also. You could also meet them on YouTube, Movers Nigeria page. That's how you could get them on YouTube. Now, for purposes of emails, you want to send an email, then you should be sending that mail to admin@moversnigeria.org and also info@moversnigeria.org. Let's not forget, they are also very relevant on the internet, so you could check them on their website, www.moversnigeria.org, www.moversnigeria.org. Now, time for phone numbers. You want to call Movers Nigeria to be part of the association, to partner with them with your own association, then you could call the number 042-291-198, 042-291-198, or you could call 0708-955-9992, 0708-955-9992. Those are the numbers to get across to the offices of Movers Nigeria. And finally, the address of their office and their headquarters is at number 1 Ogoja Street off Nike Lake Road. That's White House bus stop, Trans Ekulu, right here in the coast city, Enugu. Yes, get back to the phone lines at the studio. We're talking about group business ownership and small business development in our country, in our communities, pooling resources together to build businesses that will last. That's what we're talking about right now. So what do you have to say about this? Call us up and get your contributions known. Who's the first caller? Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and location?
My name is Joseph Onyebuchi, calling from Abakaliki.
Okay, Joseph, go ahead with your contribution.
Mine is, that I am a musician. I've find time to develop it, but no sponsors. So I just want to know how the mover can help such a person.
Yeah, you see, you are talking about an individual. You're a musician. We want to see a group that are playing music and they are looking for sponsorship.
Yeah.
We are tired of individuals. So that is one of the requirements of being a mover.
Yeah.
So if Joe, if you can help us, can't you have a group so that group success brings, we guarantee that there will be no failure.
If I'm reading the minds of some people listening in regards of musicians coming together, in the times past we've had a regime of unsuccessful music group collaborations. We've had the Plantation Boys come and go, Remedies come and go, people just come and go. Everybody just wants to come together, come in the limelight. When they get popular, everyone splits up and go your solo careers. That's the problem that we have in the entertainment industry. But anyway, like we said, there are some people who are groups, some groups that can come together. That's what we're talking about today. Let's see who else is calling us this morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and location?
This is Brother Victor.
Okay, go ahead with your contribution.
The thing is that there are people that I have here. We have the supreme vocals. So we move on with gospel
music. So we have been trying, but the thing is that I don't know what is bringing it down. I don't know if it is the problem of finance or what. But we are making it better because we have done an album, but the album we did not make effort to sell it because we didn't have adequate people that we can handle it over to. You know, everything is by connection. So that is it. They dumped the album, and then when I was telling them that we should go and do radio promo, they said they didn't have money to do that one.
Vic, if I may interject here, one of the problems people have is that you have not defined your goal. If your goal is to sing and make money, you may not travel far. If you have passion to entertain and be happy doing what you're doing, then you should be able to have opportunity for gigs, for you to go and showcase your talent in functions and where people who will accommodate you, and from there you can go on recording and make money.
That happens, so I have to stick out from them, and now I'm making fine alone.
And that is one thing we need to discourage, this one-man riot squad.
Well, that's something that a wrong impression a lot of people had, especially when it comes to music. People feel let's sing to make money. Let's sing.
You have to have passion to entertain and be happy doing what you're doing. Then from there you can move.
And the money will come
at its own time. But if you target to sing and make money, who the hell are you?
Every popular person today, every person who is celebrated, I mean celebrated, not recognized. I think recognition and celebration are two different things. But if you are celebrated today, then you check out your past and see you had a very, very rough road. And the people don't see the rough road. They just see when you get there. Yeah, when we say Two-Face, 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 you don't know when he started up and all that. So let's look from the point where we start up. And let's make more calls right now. 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. Let's see what you can contribute to the matter of discourse. It's group business ownership. How can we move forward? How can we pool resources together and build businesses that can last? Using the resources at our disposal. Mr. Okonkwo, what happens to people who live in areas where they could actually use the resource in their area? You know, we're not in the Niger Delta where a lot of people say the only thing that exists is oil, but there's agriculture, there's fishing, but you know, everyone is now focused on oil. But what happens to where the community can leverage on the natural resource that exists in their communities and they are not using it?
This is one of the things we are promoting. We want to give you an idea to be happy with yourself. Reach out to others. Movers is a window. We are creating an opportunity for you that you can develop business in agriculture.
Okay.
We show you how you can do that. There's a lot of business potential in agriculture. Agriculture has to be looked at as a business, not just for sustenance. And we will show you things you can do, and having partnership and leverage with other people who also have a comparative advantage in other things. You may be in a place where you can cultivate corn, or start a poultry, or open up a butchery, or find a way of evacuating the ones that other people have planted, or set up a cold store to help people the transition to the market, or set up a produce market or local market where people can buy, where the producers can meet the buyers. It's a free land. We meet there, or what the people who have gone to higher institution call free market zone, free trade zone.
Yeah.
And we can create a free trade zone in our own domestic economy.
Yeah.
And these things require people motivating people, requiring people being behind you to tell you, you can do it, go on, we support you. And that is what Mover is going to do, has been doing, trying to see, come, let's partner together. We have so much potential that we cannot afford to be poor.
Yeah. All right, because this speaks to communities that watch as foreign direct investment, in quote, come over to take over your pineapple farms. and turn them into pineapple juice. And we don't even sit together and say, how much you have, how much you have. Let's start a small industry, and then different other industries start. If we look at the sample of, let's go back to the US again, what we call Nollywood today, we are photocopying what is in Hollywood. Hollywood is actually a place like Independence Layout in Enugu, yeah, and then someone started up a film studio, and then another person started up another film studio, and they started up, and it became a community of film studios, which became the darling of that state, Los Angeles, California, which is now Hollywood. We are now photocopying what had started a long time ago as a group of businesses starting up. Why don't we have people in Nigeria, communities, people who come together and pool resources and start up a business, and then other people start replicating it? Do you think that would be healthy for our economy?
That is exactly the way out of poverty in Nigeria. And that is what MOVA is drumming. We are telling you, you are in a specific area. You produce oil. You are a group of farmers, young farmers if possible, and you want to leverage with it. Come to Movers. Let's talk how we can partner, how we can show you people who will partner with you and create that market in such a way that people must come because the price is right and there is quality. And these are ways we can create our spot markets. You hear people who say that you can buy oil cheaper in the spot market. I give you a very workable example. How boxing had become a big sport in America. There are people who are very masculine. They are not good with their head, but they are good with their physical
strength.
Yeah. And there are people, money men, who start together and say, we can use that guy. We can stage a fight. And somebody owns a club. And somebody said, okay, we will look for people who will put prize money. We will call people who will come and advertise. And we get these bulls to come and fight.
And because people love people, watching people fight.
So, and now they put up money. You might be the greatest champion, but the man who is the match fixer, the handler, will never allow you to go and meet the champion.
Yeah.
They will first of all subject you to a routine system of getting a thorough beating before you get there. Because the champion is that trophy they have put out there to entice and continue to perpetuate their business. That was broken when Don King, one legendary American, was able, he came out of prison and he was able to get some connection with one African warlord they called Mobutu Sese Seko.
Yeah.
And he told me, we can go to Mobutu, we can put you on a world map. And Mobutu could not understand what the man is saying. Mobutu said, what do you want? He said, give us some diamonds so that we can sell it and put up prize money and we'll get people to come and stake boxing in Kinshasa. Mobutu gave them money. The biggest purse of $5 million each was put up, and that closed Madison Square Garden in America. So we need people who are ingenious, that will bring new ideas, that will bring new ways of doing things. We have so much talent, but we have become handicapped by our detractors, that we sit down complaining, nothing is working. Let us take the initiative. There are prefects around us, and we can find a synergy and lift each other up and get ourselves out of the bottom of the pit. And put bread on the table.
All right, so your contributions are also very important. Let's not forget 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. Group business ownership. How do we start this in Nigeria? How do we implement it? You can call us up right now and contribute to the subject matter of discourse this morning. Once again, the number is 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. Movers Nigeria is powering this program, Straight Talk, and we're going to talk a little bit about Movers Nigeria right now. When we get back, we take more of your calls. I see callers calling. We'll be right back.
Stand up for your right.
Remember, your value is whatever premium you place on yourself. Why wallow in self-pity and despondency? Why fight alone when institutional support is one phone call away? Simply join Movers Nigeria, a people's rights and economic empowerment association. Our platform is available to all: clubs, professionals, women, youth, students, artists, and religious organizations. The attributes that define us as a people were hard work, diligence, philanthropy, family values, kindred spirit, integrity, and fairness. Together, we can fight corruption, violence against women, violation of human rights, and environmental degradation. My friend, will your conduct help us as a group and a community?
Yes, so oyimo omume aga-enyerukwa obodo anyị ka eyi owu nem.
Then you have become a mover. Call or visit us at our national headquarters at number 1 Ogoja Street of Nikki Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Transekulu, Enugu. Or call our line 042-229-1198, 0708-955-9992, or email us at admin@moversnigeria.org or info@moversnigeria.org. We are on Facebook and Twitter. Movers Nigeria, rebuilding our lives and community.
Get up, stand up. Stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight.
Yes, we're back. It's still Straight Talk powered by Movers Nigeria. Okay, let's take your calls right now. It's all about you. Let's get to know what you have to say about this subject matter. Now we're talking about group business development. We're talking about helping ourselves in terms of pooling resources as a community, people around you, friends and, well, you know, friends and acquaintances. Let's come together and put some resources together. Make sure we start a business and keep it going. That's what we're talking about right now. We started up talking about Young Entrepreneurs Club, an initiative that Movers Nigeria is promoting in secondary schools, training students about the future ahead, how to plan, how to be entrepreneurs, how to make sure they organize effectively, how to network within themselves. All right, let's see who's on our phone lines this morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir. What's your name and location? Timothy from Benue State. Go ahead.
You know, the government also have to contribute to this, how do you call it? This coming together to form a movement.
Could you speak up so that?
Yeah, even if they discover that you are having a business like that, they will just arrest you and see you just as a killed some guys who were refining oil. I heard it on the news today. So they are even tarnishing the image, the future of those who want to raise such businesses. That's why I say the government also is contributing to tarnishing all these things. Because they don't want to improve the economy, they just want to stay on the level they are. And they don't want to develop. That's why we are still behind in terms of business. That's what
Tim, if I may say something to you there, those people who are in illicit business of going to refine oil, that is not business. We don't want you to go and run against the law. If you want to get into refining business or refinery, there is a highway for you to apply. You want to get into refining. But we are talking about how do you use your hands? How do you come together with your friends and empower yourself doing things that make you happy? The passion you have, from there you can earn money, from there you can develop business, from there you can talk to other people. The person who helped to develop this engine we call Facebook that we are using, we are not paying to key into it. Somebody developed it because a group needed to communicate within their university campus at that time. And he was able to work on it, and today it became the biggest invention by young people. So what we are telling you, team, is what you are in your Benue State. There are so many agricultural products that are in Benue State.
Yes.
Call some of your friends, come together. Get in touch with us in Movers. We can help you and show you how you will have friends in Nigeria that are interested in agriculture, and we do business, and from there we can make money and be happy. So that is what we are trying to encourage. How do we work together as friends, doing what we have comparative advantage in, and networking with others, and building ourselves and removing ourselves from the poverty statistics in this country.
All right. Let's take more of your calls. 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. Those are numbers to call us right now and let your contributions be heard right here on this station. We're about 33 minutes in the 10 o'clock hour. 11 is destination time. We'll be out of the studios, and again we'll be here on Saturday. That's the routine. All right, so what do you have to say about this? No illicit business, please. No illicit business. Yes, as long as it's within the confines of the law, it's legitimate. You make sure that you go ahead and you do it, putting resources together to make things work, as young people, as old people, as a group of people. Let's take more of your calls right now. Let's see who's here. Hello. Brother, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Okonkwo.
Good morning, sir.
So I am SDK watching the
SDK, how are you, sir?
Where are you calling from?
I'm fine. I'm calling from Emene.
All right, go ahead.
I have one idea that I have been knocking for a while now.
Yes, sir.
I want to...
Oh, sorry. If you can't get across to the studio lines, it's very simple. You could call their hotline 0708-955-9992. You want to share an idea? Movers Nigeria is ready to listen. 042-291-198 and 0708-955-9992. Okay. You can also meet them on social media, Facebook, Twitter. They're Movers Nigeria. If you feel you have to come and share with someone at Movers Nigeria office, then you should be looking forward to going to number 1 Ogoja Street of Nikelek Road. Ask for White House bus stop, Transekulu, and you'll see how to talk to them at their office. Movers Nigeria, the movement of voice for democracy. Who else is calling us this morning to make a contribution? Don't wait, just go ahead and call us, and I pray the network will permit us today. All right, check your time. It's 35 minutes in the 10 o'clock hour. Let's see what you have to say. Mr. Ifeanyi Okonkwo is still in the building. We're talking together here. All right, so let's see. Talking about group businesses, so, how do you think this should be structured? Because sometimes the structure first and then the components, that's the people, might be a problem for the success of that business. It might start up well, it might start up bad, and then it will, balance up a little bit and be moving. But if the structure is not right, is Movers Nigeria willing to help build a structure for that business, not the organization that's doing it?
We have already worked these things out. There is a deliberate design by us to plan to create a new class of young business engineers in Nigeria. So what we're trying to do is that we start with a club, an association, learn how to accommodate other people's view. You need a devil's advocate. You want to do business. Let's say you want to tell me, in this country, why is it that you come to the western part of Nigeria and you want to eat? You can buy gari or semo or pounded yam for about 50 naira, and they give you a normal soup. That is 50 naira. Give you a normal soup. Then you may decide to add meat of 50 naira. It becomes 100 naira. And you're able to eat with 100 naira. Good food. But down here in the southeast,
where the food is actually being made,
you will have to buy per plate according to them. If you don't have 500 naira, you will not eat.
Yeah.
So we can work on in between this strategy to reduce and bring this food. How did fast food develop? The highly mobile population in this country need food. They need to eat. You must find out what they eat and when they eat that food. If you're traveling in Nigeria, the only thing in the southeast, the only thing that is available to you is okpa and meat pie. And they cost probably about 50 naira. But you can eat food in other parts of Nigeria with 50 naira.
Yeah.
So these things are business development plan that young people can catch on. And it doesn't really mean that if you can serve 500 people, you'll be able to make some, maybe 20 naira per out of each head, and you must have grossed some good workable capital, and then you're able to feed yourself and make more profit. But you need somebody to encourage you, to help you to develop the business idea. And then let's look at the area of waste management. Today is sanitation.
Yeah.
The biggest problem today in third world countries is urbanization. How do you handle waste? All these waste we generate, 80% of them are waste materials. They are things that you can turn into composite manure and things like that. The rest is plastic. So how do we ultimately deal with it?
Yeah.
Young people can come together and make a proposal to chairman of local government, even the agency of government that is saddled with collection of waste. We can do big business handling waste.
Recycling waste.
We can even talk to individuals and tell them, don't deal with the other agency. We can serve we can deal with your waste. And there will be competition. If government is opening up competition in other areas, why can't they open up in waste management? So that look at the storage business and haulage business. How many people know that the people who bring the produce, the yam, the tomatoes, and the rest of them, that majority of the costs we pay go to haulage? And we can have an intervention in this area and reduce costs. Even in terms of building raw materials. Abakaliki, for example, is known for their the stone that they have in the area. And you need it in the entire South-South. We can find a stopgap and create new businesses. You find out that the major component of the cost of this building material goes to transportation. Who actually dominates this transportation sector in terms of what you call the logistics of moving it to the person who needs it?
Yeah.
How many young people under 30 are in this tranche of business? But we need to encourage them and give them capital and give them the necessary support. In case there's union intervention, we use the instrumentality of the legal system to give you leverage. But all these things, you need somebody that will mentor you, that will be on standby. This is part of rebuilding our community. This is not a government program. We are not interested in issues of government.
Well, you're hearing much, and you can also think to yourself, what can I do? What can I do and get people together with me, with like minds? Let's invest in something. Let's put our resources together. And you know, sometimes it's people you know, sometimes it's people you don't know, sometimes it's people you feel have the expertise to help out in this initiative. It's not your agenda, it's your idea. Bringing other people together with like minds, with different resources, but they have a similar objective. And that's what we're talking about. Group business success instead of these days. You said something some time back. You said talked about individual success and group failure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why we are not doing well in politics.
All right, so let's see who's on our phone lines right now. 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. Those are the numbers to call us up right now. And let's get to know what you have to say about the matter on the table today. All right. And well, let's go to the topic, the subtopic on business capital formation. Aside contributions, how else do you think a group can generate revenue to start a business or maintain a business once it's started?
One of the great advantages that traders in Onitsha have is the ability to source funds outside the regular fund centers, that is the bank, is knowing who has disposable fund. But you must have integrity. You must be known in that line of trade that you can come and tell them there is a merchandise and all you need now is a financier. But if we come in group without going to labor in the ways of building that type of structure, there are regimes that are available as products in banks that are not being used. I give you example about letters of credit. You can buy things from people here in domestic market with letters of credit by bank guarantees. But the thing is that this is an individual one-man business. But if we are in a group, some of the business managers we have can do the business plan development. If we have the right combination, I will show you that we can start a business of consolidation that we employ a minimum of 5,000 graduates in Southeast within a tranche of 6 months. By opening up centers and distribution with a small capital of 100 million. And the business managers, the economists, the people who studied planning and the rest of them can come in. One of the biggest company in this country handled the movement of the federal government furniture and files to Abuja. Up till today, that was handled by a consolidating company called Panalpina World Transport. When federal government moved to Abuja, they were paid in dollars to consolidate the files, the furniture and all that to move them to Abuja. And that business is beyond any Nigerian imagination. These are areas of business that we can do by coming together, and people who have ideas that will grow will come and we germinate it. Everybody don't have to have ideas to grow business. But if you're in a group, we can work. Today, distribution, every shopping center in Enugu, that the station where I live, will go to Onitsha to go and buy products.
And bring down here.
Every one of them. If we had a consolidation, this is what UAC was doing here in this country. They buy this thing, they have a store where they call MSG. And they have distributors. Can't we sit down, if we have all these business schools, every day you hear them talking about how to start business, and none of them have been able to start a small shop. Let us find a way of creating a franchise system to accommodate our people. We must move away from this hawking and trading. And this is what Movers is talking about, new ways of creating business ventures. We need new business engineers, investment climate, potentials for developing businesses. And these are things we can do by talking to ourselves. It's not through seminars and taking advantage of ideas of developing new businesses.
All right, so that's what we're talking about today, and we're still waiting for your calls. I'm surprised we're not having many calls today. Is it because we're not talking about something that has to do with government? But when it has to do with business, it also affects you. So let's look at how to work this out. We have pointed out areas. I would just say this, that you see a need and feel that need in Nigeria. Some people are beginning to look at the problems we are facing, and instead of talking about them, they're looking for ways to work around them, to make it in their own favor. For instance, no one is clearing the drainages, and you're waiting for government. If you start a small group and think about clearing drainages, register a company and say, we're going to be clearing drainages. We go to the government and say, let's have a partnership. You pay us this amount every month. The government somehow gets the money from the people, and then we clear drainages. And it will be our job. It will be our passion plus a job, rather than someone feeling he's being paid to do it. You know, there's a big difference.
These are areas of our taking back our community, and that is what moves. Initiative to partner with the people, initiative to create wealth and be happy. You must have passion for what you're doing. Many people are looking for job because they need job. You get the job done and also be happy doing what you're doing, and then it's an opportunity for you to also change your own economic status, and we will create a base to interrogate our leaders. But if you are not in a position to make demands on the system, you are nobody.
Okay. You know, I used to think that when you see those small premises, they just have a fence, and it's just someone's undeveloped property. Then you see mechanical engineers or mechanics. They have they use this place, and they have 3 or 4 different. You have a welder, you have an electrician, you have a panel beater inside one place. Is that the exact example of what we're talking about?
This is one other area. I give you an example. In the next 5 years, the vehicles or automobiles running today on our roads, you don't find a mechanic that can fix it.
Yes.
Everybody has now gone into chips. And are we ready for it? We have to prepare ourselves to take opportunity. There is no one paint store or paint shop where you can repair the body of a vehicle in this Enugu. And I know there are a minimum of 3,000-4,000 vehicles in this town. You go to Abuja, you go to Calabar, you go to Port Harcourt, there is no place you can come in one auto shop, you send in your car, you have a mechanical problem, you have an electrical problem, and it will not be trial and error. We must use the opportunity to take advantage of these new economic areas of rendering service. The only sub business we know is building hotel and filling station.
Let's take more calls. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name, location, and what's your contribution?
This is Chinonso calling from Enugu.
Chinonso calling from Enugu. Go ahead with your contribution.
My contribution is that, you know, some of our youth have skill acquisition, like finding how to make a cloth, okay, or how to, okay, some people are interviewed in like, okay, they got contract of plastering the whole building, okay, fixing the windows and the door, but you find out after doing that, getting a job is also another thing. You also need to get somebody that who knows somebody before you get a job. Okay, that's one like me. Suppose you know me now, okay. It's my small stature.
Let me tell you something. One thing we are trying to teach you is how to believe in yourself. You don't need to know anybody if you have the skill. But if you form yourself into a group, let's say you are a group of painters, young people who can have steady hands, you can paint buildings. We can write to local governments and tell them that they must make our legislators to make law that we must renovate our buildings.
And we must use local...
and paint, and then encourage young people that these are areas of also distributing wealth. So with that, we can put pressure on the system. And if you're good and your price is right, a lot of people are painting their buildings. So don't just think that you need to go and lobby. It's all part of the corruption in the system. But if you are exceptionally good in what you're doing, I don't think you will lack patronage.
Okay. Let's see what you have to say. Also, the lines are still open, 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about group business development, and you are part of this conversation. So let's hear what you have to say. Let's see who's on our phone lines. Hello?
You didn't allow me to finish what I wanted to say.
Yeah,
So sorry, sir.
Finish.
Okay, like what I'm saying is that some people like us in small stature, okay, that have many skill acquisition. Okay, I want to ask the gentleman and say, do you have a group that is into building? You know, they have engineers, they have architects. I have a very good architect that I'm working with, but the problem is that he's very, very far class like me. Understand? He just don't want to work with me. He don't work with me when he does feel like, okay, he don't have other workers. But he knows I'm good. But just that one or two things doesn't make us work together. But I want to know if you have such company or such combined people that you work with in terms of building. Like let's say that somebody comes now and they say, okay, I'm an engineer. Okay, I want to know if that, you have somebody like who can do this or do that.
So we have our members who are engineers, chartered engineers and architects are members of our association. We are not a business outfit. We are young people like you who decided to pay back to the community by organizing people and helping them, mentoring them. What we are doing is to mentor, be a bridge, be like an engine where everybody can come together and we articulate how we can improve ourselves. So we are not a consultancy that connect people with business or the rest of them, but we build relationship with people who can come together as friends or association. So we can help you if you are a member by linking you with other professional people, and you need to scout for people and let them believe that today's world you require to have a group. You can't succeed in individual business, because everybody will contribute and bring his own connection, and that will be a smile to the bank.
Okay. So where can I get your office so that we can see and start doing things? Let us be moving, not only talking on radio and people are not...
So we're giving you the address. We'll give you the address again, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much. All right, let's have a few more comments right here. Contributions on our phone lines. We're talking about group business development, business ownership. How do we work together? Let's take more. Hello? All right. Now let's see who else is on our phone lines. 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. You are calling up, and make sure you turn down the volume of your radio set. 5 minutes left before we hit 11 o'clock. Mr. Ifeanyi Okonkwo, who is the initiator and promoter of Movers Nigeria, is a movement of voice for democracy. The address is at number 1 Ogoja Street by Nike Lake Road, and it's if you get to White House bus stop at Transit Kulu, you'll be able to access them and meet them one-on-one. And you could call 042-291-198. That's 042-291-198. And you could also call 0708-955-9992. Yep, those are the numbers to call. You can meet them on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, on their website, www.moversnigeria.org. Okay, so let's take more of your calls. Studio lines remain the same. 0815-960-9134 and 0815-243-7346. What's your contribution about the subject matter? All right. Let's see. Do we also have to, in terms of starting up this, will Movers Nigeria also support a business registration?
What we do is that we don't own businesses in Movers.
Yeah.
We encourage our members to own group business, and we will give them funding at no interest rate regime. And we also make sure that our successful members can give them bridge financing in case they need more funds.
Okay.
And we can also introduce them to the financial world as guarantors, because we believe that they know what they are doing and they will want to succeed.
Okay. All right, who else has a contribution to make? We just have a few minutes to spend right here. And let's not forget, this happens every Saturday, 9:30 all the way till 11 a.m. right here on the Rock Station, 100.9 Solid FM. All right, Mr. Okonkwo, any final words?
The final word is to tell people that we must learn to work with each other. We cannot succeed by only individual effort. We now need to tap from other people's talents so that we can grow the bigger businesses and take advantage of the new business opportunities of visitors around the world. So the world is now a global village. We are tapping from other people's knowledge. You can Google, and information are given to you at disposal without any fee. So we must also make sure that the cost of money for starting businesses is at 0 point. And that is what friendship and group partnership can bring. And that's what Movers is promoting.
Okay. Well, you could meet Movers Nigeria anytime you want. Yes, you could call them up. No, not on Sundays. So you could come around and ask your questions. Here is the jingle to give you more information about Movers Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us. It's been a pleasure having Mr. Okonkwo again in the studios with us. You can be part of Movers Nigeria, or your organization could partner with your organization and get the best out of it. Let's make our country grow. It's group efforts that will make our country bigger. Let's not emphasize more on individual success and group failure. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll go back to Solid 100.9 FM as usual. Before we go, I'd like to say happy birthday to my nephew who bears the same name as I have, Samuel Ajufo. Happy birthday to you. All right, let's go ahead and have a wonderful Saturday. Clean up your environment, and God bless you too.
Remember, your value is whatever premium you place on yourself. Why wallow in self-pity and despondency? Why fight alone when institutional support is one phone call away? Simply join Movers Nigeria, a people's rights and economic empowerment association. Our platform is available to all: clubs, professionals, women, youth, students, artists, and religious organizations. The attributes that define us as a people were hard work, diligence, philanthropy, family values, kindred spirit, integrity, and fairness. Together, we can fight corruption, violence against women, violation of human rights, and environmental degradation. My friend, will your conduct help us as a group and a community?
Yes, so oyimo omume aga-enyerukwa obodo anyị ka eyi owu nem.
Then you have become a mover. Call or visit us at our national headquarters at number 1 Ogoja Street of Nike Lake Road by Content Oil and Gas Limited, White House Bus Stop, Transikulu, Enugu. Or call our line 042-229-1198, 0708-955-9992, or email us at admin@moversnigeria.org or info@moversnigeria.org. We are on Facebook and Twitter. Movers Nigeria, rebuilding our lives and